Wow. This is Justin Case of America Newscape, joining our friend Rob Rast, the founder of FLX Bike. Rob, our audience was anxious to reconnect with you. You're that man with that $1,000,000 bearing.
What
Greetings.
is going on? Hey, thank you so much for having me on. And I do have the bearing right here in front of me.
I knew
Two of
you.
them now.
Two of them. I don't even want the backstory on that. Welcome back to America Newscape. Let's kick this off. Rob, please share some of the status updates with the most righteously named bike in your industry, the Baby Maker.
Fantastic. So yeah, since the last time we spoke, our Baby Maker campaign on Indiegogo has officially ended. That was in June, and it broke Indiegogo's all-time funding record, which we were so excited about. It raised $12.2 million
Wow.
at the end of the campaign. So thrilled to do that. And it was a lot of hard work, but the hard work really started once the campaign ended, because now it's time to deliver 9,000 bikes around the world. So we've been in the process of that. Obviously, due to COVID, it is a bit challenging. However, we have fulfilled already thousands of bikes. We're still in the process of fulfilling more. We've got about 6,000 to go, I believe, all over the world, and we continue making progress on those.
Well, that being said, the people that were fortunate enough to get one of these ordered, they just need to be a little more patient if they haven't gotten their bike yet.
Totally. Some of the folks aren't so happy that it's taken a while to get the bike, which is totally understandable. You know, everybody's anxious to get their bikes. However, the ones that have been getting them, and we're sending out 500 a week sometimes, they're so thrilled to get it, and to see their feedback and how it's changing their lives is just absolutely incredible for us.
Yeah, it's once again touch on, we got so much positive reception from that last video. Touch on the advantages of these bikes, and these bikes are indeed inspiring when you stop to think about it.
Totally. So the main advantage of an electric bike is that, it's just like riding a normal bike. However, you've got extra power, which will allow you to ride faster, further, and climb up hills that you never would have been able to on a normal bike. Excuse me. So the big advantage of that is if you're, say, trying to commute and you don't want to show up to work all covered in sweat, and you'd like to do it faster than you might have been able to do in your car, you can do that on an electric bike, because your trip's going to be a lot faster, and you can put it in the highest level of pedal assist or boost, level 5, where the bike's basically doing most of the work. If you want to get more exercise, you just turn down the pedal assist level, put it in 1 or 2, and you can get as much exercise as you want or as little exercise as you want. For a lot of folks, they've got hills in their neighborhood. Like my aunt, for example, she gave up on biking entirely because she lives in a place where there's loads of hills. She says, this sucks. I never want to bike again. But now with the Baby Maker, she's able to just fly up the hills, minimal effort, and just have the time of her life again. And it kind of puts the fun back into biking.
So in essence, she gets to once again sit at the cool kids table with the coolest bike on the street, I assume.
Totally. She's one of the first ones to get it, so she's feeling pretty cool right now. So the bikes aren't for people that are going to go out and, attend the Tour de France or race with them. That's not the purpose whatsoever. It's for people who want to have fun, who love biking, and just want more of it, more speed, more distance, more hills.
We want more. You mentioned it's like riding an ordinary bike, which is probably that seemed like a lie to me, Rob. I mean, this thing has got so many. I know it's simplistic for its industry, but it's got so many cool whistles and bells. I could imagine spending 5 hours planning on my next ride, just how I intend to approach it, how much power, how much battery power, which hills I'm going to tackle. This thing is so cool. It almost leaves me speechless, which everybody that knows me knows that that's impossible. But kudos to your aunt and kudos to you guys having this vision. Have you picked up any? What have you learned? I mean, now that it's getting into the hands of people, what kind of feedback are you most surprised by?
Totally. That's a great question. And just to touch on the simplicity, the bike, it is very simple for the beginner user to get into because you do just hop on it and go. However, it can be very complex if you want to dial down into, what pedal assist level you're in. You can even be tuning it, which some of the more advanced users are doing to try and change some settings in there, even changing the gearing, and people are tricking them out. And that's probably the coolest feedback that I love to see from our users. We got a big Facebook group with like 5,000 owners in it now, and people are getting the bikes, and as soon as they get it, they're pimping it out. They're putting new seats on, new handlebars, different colors. Like some of the bikes, I don't even recognize them after the people have had it for a week, just because of how much things they've added onto it. And that's really cool to see. One of them, my favorite mod was, we've got a silver bike with these like leather colored brown accents everywhere, seat, tires, all that. So it's a really classic vintage look, like you'd see on a old Bugatti race car. So that was the only color, the silver, that's got the brown accents. All the other ones have standard black bicycle accents. This guy got a black colored bike, and then he got all tan accents to go on that bike. And it looks really, really cool. Black with brown accents. That one I love. So we might have to bring that one into the product line in the future.
Bugatti, that kind of explains a lot. Bugatti, I know it looks like an old Bugatti car. I mean, that was the ultimate of class in its day, wasn't it, Rob?
Oh, it was totally just an amazing vehicle.
Okay.
And they're doing some cool things now as well.
Okay. Hey, can you share some of the performance and rideability stuff? I mean, get into how far can I go? How fast can I go?
Totally. So some quick specs on the Baby Maker. It can fit a wide variety of riders, down to about 5 foot tall, up to 6 foot, 6'5". We even have some taller riders than that. It becomes a bit of a stretch over that height. However, with those 5 levels of pedal assist, you've got a 350 watt hub motor, which peaks out at around 500 watts, which is almost 1 horsepower. So imagine, you've got your own human power, which is maximum 250, 300 watts. You've got an additional human basically with you, twice your power in this bike. With that, you can go speeds up to 28 miles per hour. You really got to be pedaling on it to hit those speeds. Up to 50 miles per charge. We've actually had real riders, real Baby Maker owners hitting those kind of range numbers, which is pretty incredible. If you are in the highest level of assist and just getting all the juice from the bike, it's going to be less range, but you can climb hills of 20% grades, I believe is the number, just real steep ones. And when the battery runs out, it runs just like a normal bike. So your range is basically limitless. If you do go on a long ride and you run out of juice, you just pedal it home.
Wow. Let's take a break. I'd like to show everybody a video of the Blade 2 that you guys put together. So give me a minute.
Awesome.
Let me cue that up. And here we go.
Hi everybody, it's Rob from FLX Bike, and behind me I've got a familiar bike here. Some of you may recognize it as the FLX Blade, which it is, but it's got something a little bit different. So this is actually a Blade Class 2, which is available now on the website, and the difference is instead of a 1,000 watt motor, it's got a 749 watt motor. So now the speed limit on this, it is set at 20 miles per hour, but if you were to use it off-road, you could modify that up or down to fit your likings. Just know that it will no longer be Class 2 if you do move the speed up. The motor power cannot be adjusted after you do that, but for the folks who are living in bigger cities and want to use this on the road, this is an option for you to get a Blade, which is still very, very powerful and just crazy to ride and still be completely legal. So this is the max power you can get in a street legal bike. And instead of me riding it, I'm going to have my friend Christine show you guys how the Blade Class 2 performs.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. The Blade Class 2 is now available at flx.bike. Hit us up if you have any questions, and happy trails.
Hey, welcome back, Rob.
Hey, what's going on? So that video is actually the Blade 1.0, and it was an awesome, awesome bike. We recently released the Blade 2.0, which takes everything we love about that bike and just expands it, puts it on steroids. It's absolutely amazing.
It's very cool that you're not resting on your laurels. I mean, you've got stuff in development. You've got new bikes coming out. I'm sure there's things you're working on you won't even tell us about.
Many, many things.
Yeah,
I wish I could.
No.
So I can hit on a few of the advancements from the Blade 2.0 from that original video you sent. It's pretty sweet. The main thing is the drivetrain. Typically in a bike, you've got, your gear shifters. That goes back. You've got a chain and a derailleur, which just moves the chain onto different gears and the cassette. With all the power that the Blade is putting out, 1,000 watts, that's over a horsepower of power, it puts a lot of stress on the drivetrain. And so when you use it a lot, and especially if you shift improperly, it can be prone to gear crunching, things like that. What we did with the Blade 2.0 is put a roll-off speed hub in the back. We're getting real nerdy here. It's got 14 speeds all in one tiny metal box. It's engineered and built in Germany, and it's just beautiful. It's like the inside of a motorcycle transmission, basically. But you can shift even at a dead stop into any gear you want. It can handle an insane amount of power. And now instead of a chain, which is greasy and prone to needing maintenance, etc., or even breaking under that power, we have a Gates carbon belt drive. It's the same kind of belt drive used in a Harley Davidson motorcycle. So it just makes the Blade 2.0 kind of bulletproof and expands the capabilities. It's pretty sweet.
You guys aren't going to be card-carrying nerds until you load up one of these bikes and an Olympic gymnast and go to the salt flats and try and set some land speed record on electric bikes.
Heck yeah, I love that idea. I'm down for that. I'll be the crash dummy.
What else are you working on, Rob?
So we're also working on, we had some feedback from people on the Baby Maker. They really loved the bike. They wanted it, and we did send out a ton of videos on it to get people excited about it. But they don't have anywhere to put it. These are people who live in apartments with stairs, have limited space. Maybe they've got roommates, etc. Don't know where to put the bike without it getting stolen. So we've taken all the performance from the Baby Maker and designed that into a tiny, compact, portable, folding frame. It's a carbon fiber bike with a frame about this big that folds in half. And you can essentially have all the performance of the Baby Maker, but you can fit 2 or 3 of them in the trunk of a car. Just fold them up, drop them in. You can put it under the desk at work, and you can bring it anywhere you like. Bring it on the train, the bus, etc., without having to worry about your bike getting stolen. So super excited about that, and that's going to launch in the next 1 to 2 months here.
That's got to be exciting for the vacationing family. They can basically pack the kids' bikes in the back, their bikes in the back, and go enjoy some really cool place with some power to boot.
Totally. It's super exciting. And that bike actually has 2 batteries as well. Fun fact, one is hidden inside the seat tube. So the whole seat tube is a battery, and then the other one is inside the carbon fiber frame.
Now, does that extend the range, or that certainly adds to the power?
It doubles it. If you get the extra battery, you double the range.
That's a good thing. What else have you got for us, Rob? We could talk to you all day.
So we're always doing some new stuff. Recently, we actually released a new electric skateboard. So this is FLX's sister company. It's called Miles Board. I also own that. We released an electric skateboard called the Phantom, which goes 30 miles per hour. It can go up to 30 miles per charge and climb 30% grades. It's got a carbon fiber deck. It's sweet. Direct drive motors, and it flies. It's faster even than the Baby Maker. So it's definitely not for the faint of heart. Bit more for the daredevils probably out there, but it's so portable. I find myself taking it anywhere. We've got a backpack for it that can take it. You can just zip over to the gym, chuck it in the locker, get your workout in, and zip back.
Wow. Now, is there a governor on that thing?
So there are three speed levels: beginner, intermediate, and ludicrous on that. The ludicrous mode will get you up to 30 miles per hour. I've done 31 plus on it, which is kind of scary, but also really, really stable on it. So we're really excited about that. That's currently on Indiegogo right now. We're halfway through the campaign. It's raised $220,000. So not the crazy amount that the Baby Maker has done. It's a much smaller market, but we're having a lot of fun doing it.
Well, you know, it needs a cool name like the Baby Maker. Why don't you call this thing the Widow Maker?
Totally, the Widowmaker. So the next board we're releasing, actually sneak peek, the top name we've got for it right now is the Sex Panther. You heard it here first. The Sex Panther.
The top name they have for it is the Widowmaker. Now they may not recognize they may not recognize that, but everybody out there should call Rob, email Rob, go to their website, tell them that they need to name this thing the Widowmaker.
The Widowmaker. If we get enough comments, maybe we'll do it.
Okay, enough advance orders. There you go. What's this rumor I've heard about this thing called the Beast?
So the Beast, that is the folding bike that I mentioned earlier.
Okay.
And the reason we call it the Beast is a little bit of irony, just because it's so small and compact. If you've seen the movie The Sandlot, have you seen that?
I have.
So the dog, I'm pretty sure his name is the Beast, but
It is.
whenever they show the dog, it's always this hulking thing, it's the size of an elephant basically in this movie. And then at the end you find out, okay, it's not actually that big, it's just a normal sized dog. And that's why we named it the Beast. It's got that hulking power and you really look up to it. It can go fast, it's got crazy range, but you know what? It's super portable. It's a normal sized bike that folds up into a tiny package.
All right, everybody. Before Rob gives his final thoughts, remember Christmas is a few weeks away, and I would not be offended by one of these bikes for Christmas. Certainly, I would not want one of the skateboards, but hey, what a wonderful gift. What a wonderful gift for a student at a college. You talk about social distancing perfection. If you're on the fastest bike, you don't have to worry about social distancing, so you can be out there in front. This is a cool company. They're in San Diego. They've got a showroom. You should stop by and you should check them out. This company is going to get so big that they're not going to have any time to talk to us anymore, and we'll forgive them for that now. Okay, Rob.
Hey, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure today. I really appreciate the time to chat with you again, and I look forward to the next one.
Well, you mentioned this hoverboard, skateboard from hell, Widowmaker. We should probably do an interview on that when you're up for it.
Hell yeah, I'm down for it. I could talk about skateboards all day.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Hey, Rob, thank you. This has been Justin Case and Rob Rast sharing a few insights into the FLX bike. The Baby Maker, the Blade 2, the Beast in the trunk, and the Widowmaker, my favorite skateboard going. And yeah, I won't give it up. Thanks for joining us. Remember, additional information and all the links to FLX are provided in this video's Read More. Please be sure to subscribe to this channel. Check out FLX Bikes. Join the FLX party. And please remember to stand back. We are not quite sure how big this channel is going to get.